Nobody? All right. Fuck me, I guess. Welcome to Haunts, Graves, and Omens, episode 101, now season 3.
Welcome.
Ooh. Episode 101, first episode of season 3. Ooh. My name is Fred Stewart, and with me as always is my lovely co-host.
It's me, it's Taylor. Hello.
Hello, Tay.
Hello.
And with us running cameras and sound, as always, well, for the most part, is Mr. Marty Calc. Yeah, looking good, man.
Looking good.
Looking cut. Cut like an emo. So, I have some stories to go through this week. So right off the top, before we go any further, thank you so much for watching and giving us feedback on episode 101. I hope you guys, episode 100. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a terrifying time. Marty had to leave.
I did.
Because he's a big baby.
Big old bitch.
No, Marty left because whatever was down on the floor was fucking with our lungs, and it fucked with me. I tasted it for like days.
Dude, it was the worst.
It was not good on the lungs.
So, yeah. But nonetheless, we really do appreciate you guys checking it out. I've been getting a lot of feedback from all over the place of people just being like, checked it out, super sick. Everybody's having a great time. People watching it over and over again to hear all the weird shit that we experienced that night. And I'm sure we'll do another live on location soon, probably when it's not as cold out. But, we'll do another one. But again, thank you so much for being with us for 100 episodes. Now, episode 101. To start off the show, I do have, like I said, some true crime. Well, some of it's true crime, but got some stories. Out of Wisconsin, a woman was found guilty of killing her friend in 2018 by poisoning her with eye drops.
I remember hearing about this.
Yes, the jury found Jesse Kerwinski, 37, guilty of 1 count of homicide and 2 counts of theft. She will face mandatory life sentence on the homicide charge, and she's be sentenced within the next month. Basically, she is said to have killed her friend by using these eye drops. It looks like in her food, perhaps. So basically, it says toxicology tests show that the woman had a fatal dose of tetrahydrozoline, the main ingredient in eye drops, in her system. When investigators told Krawinski tetrahydrozoline, yes, killed her friend, and the scene was staged to look like a suicide.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You guys never, when you were kids, put eye drops in your friends' drinks?
No.
Because if you put if you put not a lot, like a few, 3 or 4 drops, or I don't even know, maybe a little bit more than that, but it makes them basically shit their pants.
Well, unfortunately, not in this case. She didn't think that it would kill her friend because she had been drinking it regularly for so long. She said that she told investigators that she found her friend's water bottle and loaded it with 6 bottles of Visine.
That's gnarly.
That is gnarly. And then she eventually committed about $290,000 worth of fraud after that by
stealing her identity,
stealing money and stuff like that. Another story that I have is a mysterious humming noise is keeping Northern Ireland City awake at night. Basically, this humming noise has been going off pretty frequently from around 10 p.m. to midnight in the Omagh County, Tyrone. Says, due to the wide area the sound is reported, it is difficult to pinpoint an exact source. A spokeswoman for the Fermanagh and Omagh District Council told the BBC officers are currently investigating the issue using specialized equipment or procurement of a specialist company to assist detecting the noise. Basically, it's just weird humming noise. Nobody has any idea where it's coming from.
You know what it is, Fred? It's the old Father McShenanigans.
Father McShenanigans. He's fucking back and he's ready to make some humming noise. Humming noise. Not really true crime news, but it is important news nonetheless. A plane returns to JFK when a horse gets loose on board.
That's rad.
A cargo plane departed New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport on November 14th. Had to turn back around shortly after takeoff when a horse got loose on board. According to of the Air Traffic Control Communication features pilots of the Air Atlantic. That's quite a sentence. Plane explaining to JFK controllers they had to return to the airport because there's a horse loose on the aircraft. Quote, the horse managed to escape its stall. We don't have a problem flying wise, but we need to return back to New York. We cannot get the horse back. It's secured, the pilot says in the recording. A veterinarian later came on board and shot the horse to death. So that's the end of that. Are you
serious?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he was able to
goddamn,
they were able to get the horse back in the corral, and they later departed to Belgium.
Oh, okay.
And then one final important story is this 13-year-old who broke the world record for most magic tricks done underwater.
Oh.
And I was looking
like that one.
I was looking for weird true crime, or looking for not really true crime, looking for weird stories to talk about just at the top of the show. 13-year-old girl combined her love of scuba diving with her passion for magic and broke a Guinness World Record for doing 38 magic tricks in 3 minutes while underwater. Yes. Avery Emerson Fisher, which is incredibly ironic, donned her scuba gear and went into the tunnel tank at the aquarium of the bay in San Francisco. Fisher was recorded performing 38 magic tricks in 3 minutes, and then while submerged, breaking the record of 20 tricks set by British magician Martin Rees in 2020.
Take that, Martin.
Yeah, Fisher holds more than 12 scuba diving certifications and has more than 30 ocean dives at 13 years old.
What?
So that's pretty fun. I thought that would be really fun to open the show with something a little more.
Yeah, I
fun.
mean, if you ever need good headlines, you can always look through the Florida headlines, because they always have something.
They always have something weird.
Honestly.
As for our actual story today, are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
We're going to travel to London in 1762 to investigate a haunting on Cock Lane.
Oh.
This is the story of the Cock Lane ghost. Or is it really a ghost?
This episode, I already love it.
Oh, just wait until I get through this first paragraph and you're going to laugh even harder. In about 1756 to 1757, William Kent, the usurer from Norfolk, married Elizabeth Lyons, the daughter of a grocer from Lyneham. They moved to the Stoke Ferry, where Kent kept an inn and later the local post office. They were apparently very much in love, but their marriage was short-lived, as within a month of the move, Elizabeth died during childbirth. Her sister Frances, also known as Fanny, gave Elizabeth's pregnancy. Had during Elizabeth's pregnancy moved in with the couple, and she stayed to care for the infant and its father. The boy did not survive long, and rather than leave, Fanny decided to take care of William in the house.
Fanny moved into Cock Lane.
Fanny moved into Cock Lane.
That sounds right.
Yep. Yeah, just wait. It's going to get even better. So the son had died shortly after. Obviously, the child dies. Fanny decides to stay and help William. The two soon began a relationship, but canon law appeared to rule out marriage. When Kent traveled to London to seek advice, he was told that as Elizabeth had borne him a living son, a union with Fanny was impossible. In January of 1759, therefore he gave up in January of 1759, therefore he gave up the post office, left Fanny, and moved to London, intending to purchase a place in some public office in the hope that business would erase the passion that he had unfortunately indulged. Fanny, meanwhile, stayed with her brothers in Lyneham. Despite her family's disapproval of the relationship, Fanny began to write passionate letters to Kent, quote, filled with repeated entreaties to suspend, entreaties? Entreaties?
Entreated?
Entreaties? That's a fucking weird word. with entreaties.
It's entries, but plural.
Yes, it's
Plural
very
of
weird.
entries.
Yeah, that's insane. To spend the rest of their lives together. He eventually allowed her to join him at lodgings in East Greenwich near London. The two decided to live together as man and wife, making wills in each other's favor and hoping to remain discreet. In this, however, they did not reckon on Fanny's relations.
Oh.
Fanny's relations. Okay. All right. It gets. There's a sentence in here that made me laugh. All right. Later on, the couple moved their lodgings from their mansion house, but their landlord there may have learned about the relationship from Fanny's family, expressing his contempt by refusing to pay a sum of money Kent loaned him, about £20 at the time. In response, Kent had him arrested.
20 pounds of what?
Their money.
Of what money? 20 pounds of like weed?
No,
Euros, like euros.
Like pounds.
I'm just kidding. I know.
Fucking Americans, dude.
Marty.
20 pounds of what? Like fucking, I don't know, like AK-47s, whatever you guys have in your country.
I'm going to make fun of a lot of British people today. I'm going to piss a lot of our British listeners off, and I'm not sorry. When I go over there, you can come up to me and kiss me on the lips. Now, while attending early morning prayers at the Church of Saint Sepulchre without Newgate, William Kent and Fanny met Richard Parsons, the officiating clerk. Although he was generally considered respectable, Parsons was known locally as a drunk and was struggling to provide for his family. He listened to the couple's plight and was sympathetic, offering them use of lodgings in his home on Cock Lane, to the north of the church.
I don't know why that got me. I've heard.
Oh, you won't come up to my house on Cock Lane?
This is my dog, one-eyed Bill, one-eyed Johnson.
I don't.
He spits.
I don't know why that one specifically got me, even though you've been saying.
Cock Lane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Dumb.
And fucking just that one apparently got me.
It's highbrow humor. Located along a narrow, winding thoroughfare similar to most of Central London streets, the 3-story house was in a respectable but declining area at the time, and comprised a single room on each floor, connecting to a winding staircase. Shortly after Mr. and Mrs. Kent, as they call themselves, moved in, Kent loaned Parsons 12 guineas to be repaid at the end of we were paid at the rate of a guinea per month. Now, a guinea is a type of coin. It's not guinea pigs.
I was thinking guinea fowl, like the birds.
No. So a guinea is basically just a minted coin that was in operation from 1663 to 1814. It's a gold coin.
I was thinking guinea pigs.
I was thinking guinea fowl,
He's
and
like,
I like the idea.
Listen, I'll loan you some guinea pigs, all right? Just like pockets full of guinea pigs, dude. That's what spread the plague, dude, was guinea pigs. Totally different time period, but whatever. It was while Kent was away at a wedding in the country that the first reports of strange noises began. Parsons had a wife and 2 daughters. The elder, Elizabeth, was described as a little artful girl, about 11 years of age. Kent asked Elizabeth to stay with Fanny, who was then several months into a pregnancy, and to share her bed while he was away. The two reported hearing scratching and rapping noises. Whatever. All right, I'm done with that. These were attributed by Mrs. Parsons to a neighboring cobbler. Although the noises recurred on a Sunday, Fanny asked if the cobbler was working that day. Miss Parsons told her that he was not. James Franzen, landlord of the nearby Wheat Sheaf Public House. That's a fucking crazy. Wheat Sheaf. This is Wheat Sheaf Public House. Swear to God. Was another witness. After visiting the house, he reported seeing a ghostly white figure ascend the stairs.
Ooh.
Terrified, he returned home, where Parsons later visited him and claimed to have seen a ghost.
Ooh,
There you go.
spooks.
Pay attention.
I'm listening.
Quit watching Fortnite porn.
Marty.
No, not today.
As Fanny was only weeks away from giving birth, Kent made arrangements to move to a property at Bartlett's Court in Clerkenwell. It's a fucking goddamn fuck. I swear to God. Clerkenwell. But by January 1760, it's just these names are just so. We make fun of these names, but they're like, oh, we're going fucking straight name Smith Street. It's like, yeah, dude. We got normal fucking names. Anyway, but by January of 1760, it was not ready, so they moved instead to an inconvenient, quote, apartment nearby, intending only to be there temporarily. However, on January 25th, Fanny fell ill. Don't. It's like ambience. We need some ambience, son.
Yeah.
There you go. Fanny. There it is. Fanny fell ill. The attending doctor diagnosed the early stages of eruptive fever and agreed with Kent that their lodgings were inadequate for someone at so critical a stage of pregnancy. Fanny was therefore moved by coach to Bartlett's Court. The next day, her doctor returned and met with her apothecary. Both agreed that Fanny's symptoms were indicative of smallpox.
Oh, no.
On hearing this, Fanny sent for an attorney to ensure that the will she had made was in good order and that Kent would inherit her estate. An acquaintance of Kent's, Stephen Aldrich, rector of the St. John Clerkenwell, reassured her that she would be forgiven for all her sins. And on February 2nd, 1760, Fanny died. Not by gunshot. He was actually killed in a gang shootout. A lot of people don't know that. As the sole exeter of Fanny's will, Kent ordered a coffin, but fearful of being prosecuted should the nature of the relationship become known, he asked for it to remain nameless. On registering the burial, he was, however, forced to give a name, and he gave her his own. Fanny's family was notified, and her sister Anne Lyons, who lived in nearby Pall Mall, attended the funeral at St. John's. Yes, Pall Malls. When Anne learned of the terms of Fanny's will, which left her brothers and sisters half a crown each, Kent the rest, she tried but failed to block it in the Doctor's Commons. The bulk of Kent's inheritance was Fanny's 105-pound share of her dead brother Thomas's estate. This also included some land owned by Thomas, sold by the exeter of his estate, John Lyons, and Kent received Fanny's share of that too, about 95 pounds. I believe those are the same. Her family resented this, obviously. Legal problems with Lyons' estate sale meant that each of Thomas's beneficiaries had to pay 45 euros in compensation to the purchaser, but Kent refused, claiming that he already spent the money in settling Fanny's debts. In response to this, in October of 1761, John Lyons began proceedings against Kent in the court. Meanwhile, Kent became a stockbroker and got remarried in 1761. So he fucking just immediately was just like pumping into somebody else, dude. You know?
My favorite part of it all is that Fanny haunts Cock Lane and smokes Pall Malls.
As for the hauntings, get a little backstory. All right? Let's get to the spooky part. Echoing the actions of Kent's previous landlord, Parsons had not repaid Kent's loan, of which was about 3 guineas, still outstanding, and Kent therefore instructed his solicitor to sue him. He managed to recover the debt by January of 1762, just as the mysterious noises at Cock Lane began again. Catherine Friend had lodged there shortly after the couple had left, but moved out when she found the noises, which had returned intermittently and which were becoming more frequent, and they could not be stopped.
Oh.
They apparently emanated from Elizabeth Parsons. So they apparently emanated from Elizabeth Parsons, who suffered fits, and the house was regularly disturbed by unexplained noises, likened at the time to the sound of a cat scratching a chair.
Oh, weird. That's very specific.
Very specific. I mean, it would be like, it sounds like a Hellcat. You know.
Oh, shit! A ghost!
Yes, essentially. Reportedly determined to discover the source, Richard Parsons had a carpenter remove the wainscoting around the Elizabeth's bed. He approached John Moore, assistant preacher at the St. Sepulchre's Church since 1754, and the rector of St. Bartholomew the Great in West Smithfield since June of 1761. Basically, these names are so long.
St. Bartholomew the Great.
Yes, absolutely. It's a good cat name.
That's my new name.
So St. Bartholomew the Great,
Yeah.
are you invested?
Yeah.
Okay.
My name will be Saint Bartholomew. Bartholomew the Great.
So the presence of the ghost, was presumed to belong to Fanny's sister Elizabeth, had already noted. So stupid. We're so fucking dumb, dude. 101 episodes of just being just absolutely fucking stupid. Yeah, of course. Yep, there it is. You love to do that, dude.
Yeah.
It's so funny every time. So the presence of one ghost presumed to belong to Fanny's sister Elizabeth had already been noted while Fanny lay dying, and the other two, so the two concluded that the spirit now haunting Parsons' house must be that of Fanny Lyons herself. The notion.
So they just changed it. They were like, it's got to be Elizabeth.
Well, they got to be Elizabeth, and it's got to be Fanny. It's got to be both of them. They're haunting together.
Oh. And then
They're just like fucking haunt, dude. Yeah, dude. That flex on. All right. So yes, essentially.
they were just like, it's Elizabeth, and then she dies, and then they're like, it's
It must be Elizabeth and Fanny now, isn't it?
gotta be Fanny. That's it.
Must be with them, innit?
Couldn't just be the one.
It's gonna piss so many people off. So the notion that a person's spirit might return from the dead to warn those still alive was commonly held belief. The presence of two apparently restless spirits was therefore an obvious sign to both men that each ghost had important messages to disclose.
Oh.
Parsons and Moore devised a method of communication: 1 knock for yes, 2 knocks for no.
It's really funny. I don't think the cameras picked it up, but our roommate just dropped something when you were like 1 knock for yes. And I heard just something clatter to the floor.
Yeah. It's haunted.
He's in there making Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah. We're having Friendsgiving tonight. So using this system, the ghost appeared to claim that Fanny had been murdered.
Oh.
The murder.
We're there.
It was conjectured that the mysterious figure in white, which terrified James Franzen, presumed to be the ghost of Elizabeth, had appeared there to warn her sister of her impending death. As the first ghost had seemingly vanished, this charge against Kent that he had murdered Elizabeth was never acted on, but through repeated questioning of Fanny's ghost, it was divined that she had not died from the effects of smallpox, but rather arsenic poisoning.
She was not shot.
Oh,
Marty.
dang it. I'm just waiting for it to happen one of these times.
I think they would know that it was gunshots.
Yeah, it seems like she's got fucking smallpox. She's like, I got fucking blood all in my fucking chest.
Sucking chest wound. She's like,
There's going to be one time on this podcast where you're like, and then she died from, and you're like, it was a fucking gunshot. She died from a gun, and I will be there for it because I made it happen.
I'll be there for
He's ready.
you.
He's,
I'm ready.
It's going to take a while, but he's ready.
He's ready. The deadly toxin that apparently been administered by Kent about 2 hours before Fanny had died, and now it was supposed her spirit wanted justice. Moore had heard from Parsons how Kent had pursued the debt he was owed, and how he also heard from Anne Lyons, who had complained that as Fanny's coffin lid was screwed down, she had not been able to see her sister's corpse. Moore thought that Fanny's body might not show any visible sign of smallpox, and that if she had been poisoned, the lack of scarring would have been something Kent would rather have kept hidden. Oh, shit, dude.
Damn.
Pretty spooky, right? As clergyman with inclinations towards Methodism, he was inclined to trust the ghost.
As one does.
Yes, but for added support, he enlisted the aid of Thomas Broughton, yes, an early Methodist. Broughton visited Cock Lane on January 5th and left
Let's just
convinced.
say he aided Cock Lane, right?
Yes.
Aid.
He visited Cock Lane. And left convinced the ghost was real. The story quickly spread through London like wildfire, and the Public Ledger began to publish a detailed account on the phenomenon, and Kent fell under public suspicion as a murderer.
Oh, shit.
I have to plug my laptop back in.
Oh, the
I was wondering what
murder.
that was. I was like,
Yes. Pretty spooky, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, after reading the veiled accusations made against him in Public Ledger, Kent was determined to clear his name, naturally. And accompanied by a witness, went to go see John Moore. The Methodists showed Kent the list of questions he and Parsons had drawn up for the ghost to answer. One concerned William and Fanny's marital status, prompting Kent to admit that they were never married. Moore told him that he did not think that he was a murderer, but rather he believed the spirit's presence indicated that, quote, there was something behind darker than all the rest, and that he would go to the Parsons' house. He might be a witness to the same and convinced of its reality.
Oh.
Yeah, spooky, right?
Yeah. Like, I mean, also, I like how he's like, we didn't actually get married.
It's
Like, he spent all that
Don't
time
worry.
hiding it, and then
I don't think you killed your fake wife either. It's like, okay, it's kind of like the
Guy's like
least of my worries.
Yeah.
like the reverse O.J. Simpson. Kinda, right?
No,
No.
I don't see the connections. But
the British O.J. Simpson.
oh, it's because he played football for Buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
On January 12th, therefore, Kent enlisted the aid of two physicians who attended Fanny in her last days, and with Broughton went to Cock Lane.
Ha.
Couple boys got the boys together,
Broughton.
dude. Got the boys together, dude. Said, bro, let's go to Cock Lane, dude. On the house's upper floor, Elizabeth Parsons was publicly undressed, and with her younger sister was put to bed. The audience sat around the bed, positioned in the center of the room. They were warned that the ghost was sensitive to disbelief, and told that they should accord it due to respect. When the seance began, a relative of Parsons, Mary Fraser, ran around the room shouting, "Fanny, Fanny, why don't you come? Do come."
Okay, so hold up. I was thinking, like, you know how, like, people, I don't know if you guys seen, like, they read a fucking fortune cookie or something and you add in bed to the end of it and it makes everything better or something. But I was thinking, like, I was just, like, in my head adding on Cock Lane to everything you were reading, like, at the end of every sentence. So you're like, Fanny, Fanny, won't you come on Cock Lane? It works if you just add
Yes.
on Cock Lane to every end of every sentence.
I got you. Fanny, Fanny, why don't you come to Cock Lane? Do come. Pray, Fanny, come to Cock Lane. Dear Fanny, come. Dr. Cockline. When nothing happened, Moore told the group that ghosts would not come out as they were making too much noise, probably because they were all doing exactly that. He asked them to leave the room, telling them he would try to contact the ghost by stamping his foot. About 10 minutes later, they were told the ghost had returned and that they should re-enter the room. Moore then started to run through his and Parsons' list of questions. Are you the wife of Mr. Kent? Knock, knock. Did you die naturally? Knock, knock. Did you die by poison? Knock. Did any person other than Mr. Kent administer it? Knock, knock.
You're welcome. I'm really good at sound effects, by the way.
Very good. After more questions, a member of the audience exclaimed, Kent, ask this ghost if you shall be hanged. On Cockline. He did so, and the question was answered by a single knock. Kent exclaimed, Thou art lying, spirit. Thou art not the ghost of my Fanny.
That's pretty good.
She would never have done such a thing.
I'm glad the ghost of his Fanny would never do such a thing.
Dude, it writes itself. You know?
Yeah.
So good. Oh, thou are not the ghost of my Fanny.
Man, Shakespeare's getting crazy, bro. Thou art not.
Thou art not the ghost of my Fanny. So yeah, I'm good. It's what they call her later on that makes me laugh. I just don't remember where it is in this. Public interest in the story grew when it was discovered that the ghost appeared to follow Elizabeth Parsons. She was removed from to the house. She was moved to the house of Mr. Bray, where on the 14th of January, in the presence of two unidentified nobles, more knocking sounds were heard. A few days later, she was returned to Cock Lane, where on January 18th, another seance was held. In attendance were Kent, the apothecary, and local parish priest and incumbent of the St. John Clerkenwell, Stephen Aldrich. Clerkenwell.
That's an odd name.
It's a really interesting name. On that occasion, when a clergyman used a candle to look under the bed, the ghost refused, quote unquote, refused to answer. Fraser claiming, quote, she, the ghost, loving not light. So, didn't like the light.
I mean, that sounds about right, though.
Mm-hmm. After a few minutes of silence, the questioning continued. But when Moore asked if the ghost would appear in the court against Kent, Fraser refused to answer the question.
They wanted the ghost to go to court?
That is correct. I called
Wild and
I call my Fanny to the Cockland.
I called my Fanny's ghost to the Cock Lane court.
like
Your honorable John Johnson.
the fact that they were like, this ghost needs to testify in court.
That's correct.
What?
Yes. So when they lived at Cock Lane, William and Fanny had employed a maid, Esther.
Yeah.
That's how you say Esther? That's how it's spelled? I thought it was spelled different.
It's sometimes with an H, sometimes without an H. It just
That's
depends.
why it's fucking me up. Anyway.
It's the British spelling.
Swear to God. Anyway, they had married a maid called Esther Carrots
Carlisle.
They called her Carrots.
Good.
Her nickname was Carrots
I like that.
because she had red hair. It's really cute.
All the carrots! Come on down to Cork Lane to see my Fanny.
That's a odd nickname, I feel like.
Carrots is a cute name.
Yeah, but
Like little British old lady named Carrots. Like, oh, yeah, my name is Carrots. Like, oh, you're so cute, dude. She's like, fucking, you know I was during the war. I'm like, don't want to know. She had since moved to a new job and knew nothing of the haunting, but seeking evidence of Fanny's poisoning, Moore went to question her. Carrots told him that Fanny had been unable to speak in the days before she died, so Moore invited her to a seance held on January 19th. Once there, she was asked to confirm that Fanny had been poisoned, but Carrots remained adamant that Fanny had said nothing to her, telling the party that William and Fanny had been, quote, very loving and lived very happily together. Kent arrived later that night, and this time with James Franzen, the priest, William Dodd, and Thomas Brodden. Fraser began with her usual introduction before Moore sent her out, apparently irritated by her behavior. So, great. He asked the party of about 20 to leave the room, calling them back a few minutes later. This time, the seance centered on Carrots, who addressed the ghost directly.
Are you my mistress?
One knock, followed by scratches.
Are you angry with me, madam?
One knock.
Then I am sure, madam, you must be ashamed of yourself, for I never hurt you in my life.
After this, the seance ended. Fraser and Franzine remained alone in the room, the latter reportedly too terrified to move. Fraser asked if he would like to pray and was angered when he apparently could not. The seance resumed when Franzine later returned to his home, where he and his wife were reportedly tormented by the ghosts knocking at their bedchamber.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
They go to a seance and it fucking follows them home.
Pretty spooky, right?
That's pretty spooky.
So, investigation continues. On January 20th, another seance was held. This time at the home of Mr. Bruin on the corner of nearby Hosier Lane. Among those attending was a man, quote, extremely
Canadian.
I was thinking the artist, but
Right? Canadian on Hosier Lane.
sorry,
You
George.
fucking hoser.
Oh, fuck yeah, bud. You know, just just covered in maple syrup and hockey pucks, dude. That's all I wear. Okay. No, he was extremely good at detecting fraud and discovering the truth of this mysterious affair that was happening. Who later sent his account of the night to the London Chronicle. He arrived with a small party, which included James Penn of St. Anne's and Aldersgate. Inside the house, a member of the group positioned himself against the bed, but was not asked by one of the ghost sympathizers to move. Was asked by one of the ghost sympathizers to move. He refused, and following a brief argument of the ghost supporters, left. The gentleman then asked if Parsons would allow his daughter to be moved to a room at his house, but refused. For the remainder of the night, the ghosts made no sound, while Elizabeth Parsons, now extremely agitated, displayed signs of convulsions.
Oh.
When questioned, she confirmed that she had seen the ghost, but that she was not frightened by it. At that point, several of the party left, but at about 7 a.m. the next morning, the knocking commenced once more. Following the usual questions about the cause of Franny's death, who was responsible, the interrogation turned to her body, which lay on the vaults of St. John's. So just like fucking body, just like, oh, dude.
Are they gonna go dig her back up?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. We'll see.
Okay.
Parsons agreed to move his daughter to Aldrich's house for further testing on the 22nd of January. But when that morning, Penn and a man of veracity and fortune called on Parson and asked for Elizabeth. The clerk told them that she was not there and refused to reveal her whereabouts. Parsons had spoken with friends and was apparently worried that Kent had been busy with his own investigations. Instead, he allowed Elizabeth to be moved that night to St. Bartholomew's Hospital.
My own hospital.
Yes, where another seance was held. Nothing was reported until about 6 a.m., where 3 scratches were heard, apparently while the girl was asleep. The approximately 20 strong audience members complained that the affair was a deception. Yes. Once Elizabeth woke, she began to cry, and once reassured that she was safe, admitted that she was afraid for her father, quote, who must needs to be ruined and undone if the matter should be supposed to be an imposture.
Oh.
Imposture! Oh, Coquelin. She also admitted that although she had appeared to be asleep, she was in fact fully awake and aware of the conversation going around her.
Oh.
Yeah. So, initially, only the public ledger reported on the case, but once became known that noblemen had taken interest and visited the ghost at Mr. Bray's house, the story began to appear in other newspapers. For example, the St. James Chronicle and the London Chronicle printed reports respectively, on the 16th and 19th of January. And then later, the Lloyd's Evening Post posted. Everybody started talking about it. Everybody started gossiping, dude. They're like, what's going on with these Cocks and Lanes? We have a place. Fanny's ghost is... I got a Fanny in Cox Lanes. My Fanny haunts Cox.
I found a book because I was looking up pictures of Cock Lane, and there's a book called The Cock Lane Ghost: Murder, Sex, and Haunting in Dr. Johnson's London.
That's so hot, dude.
Yeah.
So the story obviously spreads through London like wildfire, and by the middle of January, the crowds gathered outside the property were such that Cock Lane was rendered impassable.
Oh.
There was too much blockage up Cock Lane.
Or what would you call it? Impenetrable.
No, it was just gummed up, dude. Cock Lane was gummed up, dude. Nothing's getting through there. Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Too many people just up in Cock Lane. Parsons charged visitors an entrance fee to, quote, talk with the ghost, which it was reported did not disappoint.
Oh.
After receiving several requests to intercede, Samuel Floodier, Lord Mayor of London, was on the 23rd of January approached by Alderman Gosling, John Moore, and the Parson family. They told him of their experiences, but Floodier was reminded of the then recent case of the fraudster Elizabeth Canning and refused to have Kent or Parsons arrested on charges of murder and conspiracy, respectively.
Makes sense.
Instead, against the backdrop of hysteria caused in part by the newspaper relentlessly reporting on the case, he ordered that Elizabeth be tested at Aldrich's house. Meanwhile, Elizabeth was again subject of a study into seances held on January 24th and January 23rd. You see how fucking close all this shit is happening, like one by one? This is all in the span of like 2 weeks. Like, it's really not that long.
Yeah. It seems like it had been going on for such a long time. You know?
Yeah, this is just like immediately, like it just fucking just floods in.
That's crazy.
Parsons accepted the Lord Mayor's decision, but asked that, quote, some persons connected with the girl might be permitted to be there to divert her in the daytime. This was refused, as there were 2 similar requests, Aldrich and Penn, insisting that they would accept only, quote, any person or persons of strict character and reputation who are housekeepers.
Gotta make sure those housekeepers are...
Get Mrs. Carrots.
Yeah, perfect.
You know?
Because, like...
Get Mrs. Carrots on Cock Lane. Get Carrots through Cock. Get them through the gum on Cock Lane. I told you before we filmed this, I'm going to say the word Cock Lane a lot.
You did. I like how they were like, listen, only the strict and reputable people are going to be here, and they have to be housekeepers.
Yes, that's correct.
That's it. Nobody else.
Yeah.
You could be the most upstanding, respectable, reputable person, but fuck you because you're not a housekeeper.
That's correct.
Okay.
So Aldrich and Penn's accounts in the negotiation with Parsons clearly perturbed the clerk as he defended his actions in the public ledger. This prompted Aldrich and Penn to issue a pointed retort in Lloyd's Evening Post, quote,
We are greatly puzzled to find Mr. Parsons asserting that he hath always willing to deliver up the child when he refused a gentleman on Wednesday evening, the 20th, just goes on, like, what is to be understood by requiring security? Why is he hiding stuff? What is he hiding?
Essentially is what's happening.
On Cock Lane!
This is... I can't believe how fast this all takes place.
Yes, it takes place very fast. Hold on. I just need to type in something real quick. So yeah, I mean, it is weird how fast all this happens. It is quite odd.
Like with some of the like stories that we've told, it takes a long time for it to like gain traction and everything, but fucking it was just immediate.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. There was a little noise. Did you hear that?
I did hear that.
Yeah, like
Was that you, Marty?
that wasn't me. Probably one of the dogs that was outside the room or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
Or
Elizabeth
it's a ghost.
probably of excuse me. Elizabeth was taken on the 26th of January to the house of Jane Armstrong, sleeping there in a hammock. Nice and casual, nice and cozy. The continued noises, I gotta get my nicotine, striking the resolve of the ghost supporters, while the press's caseless reporting on the case continued. Horace Walpole, the 4th Earl of Orford, Jesus Christ.
I thought you said horse.
I thought you said whores. I was going to say
Horace.
whores on Cock Lane. Okay.
Horace. His name is Horace, and I heard horse, and I was like, who named their fucking child?
Let
Horse?
me get through this sentence for you, just because it's a lot of just nonsense.
Yeah.
Horace Walpole, 4th Earl of Orford, announced that with the Duke of York, Lady Northumberland, Lady Mary Coke, and Lord Hertford, he went to visit Cock Lane on January 30th.
Try to say that all like really fast.
No. I don't think I can.
I mean,
Yeah, that's a lot of words. After struggling through the throngs of interested visitors, though he was ultimately disappointed, the public advisor observed that, quote, the noise is now generally deferred till 7 in the morning, it being necessary to vary the time, and that the imposition may be better carried on. So basically, it's like this ghost kind of only operates at 7 o'clock, dude. Fucking
kind of weird.
kind of weird, dude. With
not the
Lord
witching hour.
Dartmouth Aldrich. Lord Dartmouth. All right.
Nice.
With Lord Dartmouth, Aldrich began to draw together the people who would be involved in his investigation. They chose the matron of a local lying-in hospital as principal lady in waiting, the critic and the controversialist Bishop John Douglas, and Dr. George Macaulay. Yeah. A Captain Wilkinson was also included in the committee. He had attended one seance armed with a pistol and a stick.
Nice.
Which is exactly what you need.
That's how I'm gonna go investigate ghosts now.
Yeah.
Well, you know, back then, like, guns didn't hold as much ammo. Like, yeah, I think it was just like a muzzle shot,
Yes.
a muzzle loader. So you get the one shot, and so you better have a fucking stick for backup in case you miss.
I mean, that's fair.
You better hope you're a good shot
Yeah.
when you aim for a ghost.
Yeah, the former to shoot the source of the knocking. So he brought that to shoot the ghost, and the latter to make his escape. The ghost had remained silent on that occasion. Surprise, surprise.
Just a stick to make his escape. What's he gonna do? Like fucking beat people with a stick to get out of the way? Like I don't.
He just like just starts fucking whipping people with the stick. Like, oh, fucking stop,
to
dude!
make
Ow,
his
dude!
escape.
Stop! Dick! Ow, dude! You fucking ow, dude!
Fucking repeatedly just hitting people so he can leave. No one's blocking the. Literally, what if the like doorway was like completely open?
Yeah.
And he's just still hitting people.
Yeah.
The door's fucking open.
James Penn and John Moore were also on the committee, but its most prominent member was Samuel Johnson, who
I thought you were
documented.
going to say Jackson. I was going to lose my shit.
Samuel Jackson, who documented the seance held on February 1st, 1762.
I'm tired of these motherfucking ghosts on this motherfucking cock lane.
Yeah, exactly. So, for Samuel Johnson, I'm sure you guys don't know who Samuel Johnson is, but if you're really popular, if you're like, remember memes from the early 2000s, like 2010 area.
See the beer guy?
No.
I'm going to show you a photo of him.
He's not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know that guy? He was a popular meme for quite a while.
We were memeing on Samuel Johnson for a really long time.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and I'll put him up on screen now. Hey, look at him. There he is.
You want me to pull up him on over here? I don't think I have the keep-on set, actually.
No, it's fine. On the night of the 1st of February, many gentlemen eminent from their rank and character were, by the invitation of Reverend Mr. Aldrich of Clerkenwell, assembled at his house for the examination of the noises supposed to be made by the departed spirit for the detection of an enormous crime. Of some enormous crime, that is. About 10 at night, the gentlemen met in a chamber in which the girl, supposed to be disturbed by a spirit, had held with a proper caution, but had been put to bed by several ladies. They sat rather more than an hour, and hearing nothing, went downstairs, where they interrogated the father of the girl, who denied, in the strongest terms, by any knowledge or belief of a fraud. The supposed spirit had before publicly promised by an affirmative knock that it would attend one of the gentlemen to the vault, into the vault under the Church of St. John Clerkenwell, where the body is deposited, and given a token of her presence there by a knock upon her coffin. It was therefore determined to make this trial of the existence or veracity of the supposed spirit. While they were inquiring and deliberating, that they were summoned to the girl's chamber by some ladies who were near her bed, who had heard knocks and scratches. When the gentleman entered, the girl declared that she felt the spirit like the mouse upon her back. It's a mouse, like a mouse upon her back. Just like that. Felt like a guinea pig upon her back. Now, and was required to hold her hands out of bed. For that time, though, the spirit was solemnly required to manifest its existence by appearance, by impression on the hand or body of any present, by scratches, knocks, or any other agency. No evidence of any preternatural power was exhibited. The spirit was then very seriously advertised, and the person to whom the promise was made of striking the coffin was then about to visit the vault, and then the performance of the promise was then claimed. I'm sorry, this is very long. This is all what Samuel Johnson wrote. It's very weird. It's 1762 writing.
Yeah, no.
It's 1762. The company at 1 o'clock went to the church, and the gentleman to whom the promise was made went with another into the vault. The spirit was solemnly required to perform its promise, but nothing more than silence ensued.
Maybe it didn't want to.
Maybe. The person supposed to be accused by the spirit then went down with several others, but no effect was perceived. Upon their return, they examined the girl, who could draw no confession from her. Between 2 and 3, she desired and was permitted to go home with her father. It is, therefore, in the opinion of the whole assembly, that the child has some act of making or counterfeiting a particular noise, and that there is no agency of any higher cause. Samuel Johnson, 1762. Samuel Johnson says it's a fake.
Good
Good
job.
job, Sam.
You know, Sammy! Sammy!
I wish he was my uncle.
Send me on Cock Lane. Show me your Cock Lane, Sammy.
I'm taking you to
Show me your
grave so you
fanny
can
on
say
Cock
that to
Lane.
him.
What?
I'm taking you to his grave so you can actually say that.
I'm gonna dab up his ghost. Show me your Cock Lane, dog. Disappointed that the ghost had failed to reveal itself, Moore now told Kent he believed it was an impostor and that he would help reveal it. Kent asked him to admit the truth and write an affidavit of what he knew so as to end the affair and restore Kent's reputation, but Moore naturally refused, telling him that he still believed the spirit's presence was a reminder of his sin. Fucking asshole. I know that this ghost is a fake. I know it's a fake, Mr. Kent. Okay?
Right.
I know it's a fake. But fuck you. Is essentially what I gathered from that. Moore's view of the couple's relationship was shared by many, including Mrs. Parsons, who believed that the supposed ghost of Elizabeth Kent had disapproved of her sister's new relationship.
Makes sense.
Another seance was held on February 3rd. This is really just, all this happened just over a month. It's really not that long.
Yeah, it's not very long.
Saw the knocking continue unabated, but then by Parsons was then extremely difficult and serious situation. Keen to prove the ghost was not an imposter, he allowed his daughter to be examined at the house on the Strand from the 7th of February to the 10th of February of that year, and another house in Covent Garden on February 14th, Valentine's Day. Isn't that very cute? Mm-hmm. Happy Valentine's Day. Go and show people your fanny ghost. From Cockline. She said she was tested in a variety of ways, which included being swung up in a hammock, her hands and feet extended.
Nice.
So she's in a hammock, and they're fucking just like, and she's like full spread to just not touch anything. As expected, the noises commenced, but stopped once Elizabeth was made to place her hands outside of the bed.
Oh no.
For 2 nights, the ghost was silent. Elizabeth was told that no more noises were heard by Sunday, February 21st. She and her father would be committed to the Newgate prison.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if we don't hear any more noises, you're going to prison because this ghost won't talk, dude.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy? So her maids then saw her conceal on her person a small piece of wood about 4 by 6 inches, and informed the investigators. More scratches were heard, but the observers concluded that Elizabeth was responsible for the noises, obviously, and that she had been forced by her father to make them. Elizabeth was allowed home shortly thereafter. She's just getting dragged around and fucking
Threatened.
you're going to prison if this ghost doesn't talk.
Which, like, how she can't control this ghost. Like,
Yeah.
I don't. Listen, lady, you're going to fucking jail.
Yeah.
Going to jail if this ghost doesn't talk to us. Like, what the fuck do you mean?
On or about February 25th, a pamphlet sympathetic to Kent's case was published called The Mystery Revealed, and was most likely written by Oliver Goldsmith. Meanwhile, Kent was still trying to clear his name, and on February 25th, He went to the vault of St. John's, accompanied by Aldrich, the undertaker, the clerk, and the parish sexton. The group was there to prove beyond any doubt that a recent newspaper report, which claimed that the supposed removal of Fanny's body from the vault accounted for the ghost's failure to knock on her coffin, was false. The undertaker removed the lid to expose Fanny's corpse, quote, and a very awful, shocking sight it was.
I fucking believe it.
Yeah, she had been
Rotting corpse.
rotting for like well over a month. For more, this was too much, and he published a reaction. Quote, in the justice to the person whose reputation had been attacked in a most gross manner by the pretended ghost in Cock Lane, to check the get credibility of the credulity. I can't talk right now. I'm fucking my brain so dead. Basically, it says, I do hereby clarify that though from the several attendances on this occasion, I have not been able to point out how or in what manner those knockings and scratching of the supposed ghosts were contrived, performed, and continued. Yet, I'm convinced that those knockings and scratchings were made by effects of some artful, wicked, person that I was in a more special manner convinced of being such at the first of the month. This is a run-on sentence, buddy. When I attended with several persons of rank and character who assembled at the Reverend Mr. Aldrich Clerkenwell's in order to examine this dude just mad. Basically, he's like, it's a fake. I'll just say it's a fake. It's literally, I swear to God, it's a fucking like 2-paragraph thing, but it's one sentence.
That's crazy.
He just said, it's a fake. It's a fake. Fuck you guys. It's a fake, is what John Moore says.
Thank you, John Moore. For your,
yeah.
He's talking like, so when you do an assignment.
He goes, it's a fake, but I can't prove it's a fake.
In English, when you have to like hit a certain word limit or like word count, and you just fucking fucking fluff it up. That's exactly
when I was reading that, dude, my brain started melting because I was like, where's the period? Where does it stop? And it doesn't stop. 1762. It was not enough to keep him from being charged by authorities with conspiracy, along with Richard Parsons and his wife Mary Fraser and Richard James, a tradesman. So they all got fucking charged for this fake. The trial of all five was held at Guildhall in London on January 10th, 1762. Presiding over the case was Lord Chief Justice William Murray. Proceedings began at 10 a.m. and brought by William Kent against the above defendants for the conspiracy to take away his life by charging him with the murder of Frances Lyons by giving her poison whereof she died. The courtroom crowd with spectators. The courtroom crowd was crowded with spectators who watched as Kent gave evidence against those in the dock. He told the court about his relationship with Fanny and of her resurrection as, quote, scratching Fanny.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That was the funny.
God.
That was the funny name.
Scratching Fanny.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Takes a second. It's a slow
Scratching
burn.
Fanny on Cock Lane.
Yeah. Yes.
I like that.
When I was going over this story, I was like laughing, and I was like, "Tay, I'm gonna say Cock Lane a lot, dude. Scratching Fanny." Ghost's name is Scratching Fanny of Cock Lane.
Itching Fanny.
Musty Fanny of Cock Lane. Anyway, James Franzen was then next on the stand. A story was corroborated by Fanny's servant, Mrs. Carrots, who testified later that day. Dr. Cooper, who had served Fanny as she lay dying, told the court that he had always believed these strange noises in Cock Lane to be a trick, and his account of Fanny's illness was supported by his apothecary, James Jones. Several other prosecution witnesses described how the hoax had been revealed, and Richard James was accused by the prosecution's last witness of being responsible for some of the more offensive material published in the public ledger.
So the doctor is like, I always knew it was a fake.
I always knew it was a fake.
Yeah? You didn't fucking say anything.
The ghost's name is Scratching Fanny. It's on Cock Lane. Of course it's a fake. It's the only ghosts about itchy butts. The defense's witnesses included some of those who had cared for Elizabeth Parsons and who presumably still believed the ghost was real. Other witnesses included the carpenter responsible for removing the wainscoting from the Parsons apartment and Catherine's friend who, to escape the knocking noises, had left the property. One witness's testimony caused the court to burst out into laughter, at which she replied,
I assure you, gentlemen, it is no laughing matter, whatever you may think of it, of the ghost of Cock Lane.
They didn't say the Cock Lane, I just want to say Cock Lane.
Scratching Fanny Cock Lane.
Thomas Broughton was also called, as was a priest surnamed Ross, one of those who had questioned the ghost. Judge Murray asked him, quote, whether he thought he had puzzled the ghost or the ghost had puzzled him.
That's such a weird thing for a judge to ask. Yeah?
British humor.
Well, the judge was curious and he had a question. He wanted it answered. And he can't lie because he's on the stand.
Oh. It's so stupid. I'm sorry. It's so dumb. All my British friends are gonna hate this episode. John Moore was offered support by several esteemed gentlemen and presented Murray with a letter from Thomas Secker, Archbishop of Canterbury, who sought to intercede on his behalf. Murray placed the letter in his pocket unopened and told the court, quote, it was impossible it could relate to the question in cause, or the cause in question. Richard James and Richard Parsons also received support from various witnesses, some of whom, although acknowledging Parsons' drinking problem, told the court that they could not believe that he was guilty. Like, he has a drinking problem and he spends all his money on booze. Why would he ever want money?
I don't know. That seems actually really absurd that you're accusing him of faking this whole ghost thing.
I know,
Like,
it's absurd, right?
I'm pretty offended on his behalf.
Well, get ready to be more offended. The trial ended about 9:30 p.m. The judge spent about 90 minutes summing up the case and took it to the jury for only 15 minutes for them to reach a verdict, finding all 5 of the defendants guilty.
What the fuck?
Yes. Surprise. The following Monday, 2 others responsible for defaming Kent were found guilty and later fined €50 each. The conspirators were brought back on the 22nd November, but sentencing was delayed in the hope that they could agree on the level of damages payable to Mr. Kent. Having failed to do so, they returned back on January 27th, 1763. Whole fucking year goes by. And were committed to the King's Bench prison until February 11th, by which time John Moore and Richard James had agreed to pay Kent €588.
That's
Damn.
a lot.
Yes, I'm gonna look at what it is.
That's gotta be at least a 5% inflation from then.
That's gotta be at least 10 pounds.
Inflation or just total?
I don't know. I don't know what British money is, so I just what equals what, or you know.
Great.
That's gotta be 10,000 shillings.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no calculator. I don't know why all this is. Oh, there we go. It's a calculator. What is it? €588.
Yeah, each. So.
Calculate. 143,000.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
Yeah. They were basically then released once they agreed to pay that amount. The following day, the rest were sentenced. The court cushioning that Mr. Kent, who had been had been so much injured on the occasion, should receive some reparation by punishment of the offenders, deferred giving them judgment for 7 or 8 months, quote, in the hopes that the parties might make it up in the meantime. According, the clergymen and tradesmen agreed to pay Mr. Kent a round sum, some say between 500 euros and 600 euros to purchase their pardon, and were therefore dismissed with a severe reprimand. The father was ordered to be set in the pillory 3 times in 1 month. You know what a pillory is?
No.
So a pillory is this. It's usually outside. It could be in a dungeon, but you basically put your arms in it, you put your head in it, and it closes down.
Oh, yeah,
and it
yeah,
locks
yeah.
you in
Okay.
place, and so you're kind of like in the squatted position.
I didn't
Yeah.
know
You
what
do
it
that
was
3 times in
called.
1 month.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what it was called, but I do know.
Well, they used to put you out on, like, for people to see, right? And so you can be humiliated as well.
Yeah. Well, he had to do it 3 times in 1 month, once at the end of Cock Lane.
Damn.
He had to be put in the pillory at Cock Lane.
There was probably people throwing gunk on him, too.
Yeah, probably throwing fucking stuff that you find in Cock Lane.
Yeah.
You can figure it out. Elizabeth, his wife, was to be imprisoned for 1 year, and Mary Fraser 6 months in Bridewell with hard labor.
Wow.
They fucking smoke these people. The father, appearing to be out of his mind at the time, was first to standing in the pillory. The execution of that part of his sentence was deferred another day, when, as well as the other day of his standing there, the populace took so much compassion on him that instead of using him ill, they made him a handsome subscription for him. So they basically were like, instead of like fucking with him, they're like, "You want food? You want food? Want food, father? Like you want stuff? You want treats? Does the father want a little kid? Okay, all right. Take my son.
It's
Take my son from Cock Lane.
it's making up for all the guinea pigs that he took. He was treated.
Father,
like
do
a
you want
guinea
15 guinea pigs? I don't want. I can't even hold 15 guinea pigs. I'm in a fucking pillory.
Try harder.
I'll just put them in your pocket, father. I'm just wait. He's like, fuck. Parsons, all the while protesting his innocence, was also sentenced to 2 years imprisonment. He stood in the pillory on March 16th, March 30th, and finally on April 8th. In contrast to other criminals in the crowd, treated him kindly, making collections for money for him.
Oh,
And that is what we end.
that's the ghost of Cock Lane.
Well, the ghost of Cock Lane. Yeah.
I'm sure there is a
The
ghost. actually.
scratching Fanny's ghost of Cock Lane.
I'm sure that there is actually a ghost in that area.
Well, now, probably. It's 1760
There was
fucking
probably
3.
a ghost back then too. It just may not have been in that house.
Yeah. I don't think it was a ghost called Scratching Fanny.
Never know.
Well, fucking, she guys go scratching Fanny, not it?
Anybody got any more Cock Lane jokes? Anybody got any more Cock Lane jokes?
No.
I'm all out of cock.
Cock Lane. You bottomed out in Cock Lane.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, dude.
I'm all cocked out.
Dude's all cocked out, dude. Oh, man. Love it. Well, thanks so much for joining us on our Cock Lane episode.
Thanks for joining us.
Scratch this fanny.
Don't say it like that.
Season 3, we're here, baby. We did it. We're out here. It's happening. It's fun. New stuff around the corner. Check it out. We're real sick. Go check out all the new gaming stuff me and Marty been doing. HGO Gaming. It's out. It's happening. We're doing it.
It's happening.
We be out here.
We be out here.
We be
I'm gonna
out
upload
here.
another one tonight, actually.
Yeah, we're gonna be filming another one here very soon. Be
Yeah.
very, 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 very fun. It's been very fun. New episode of The Docker now out. We be out here. It's happening again.
Yeah, we out
Very
here
cool.
in the streets.
We took a couple month hiatus.
We in the cock streets.
Yeah, Cock Streets.
Yeah.
Charles would have loved this episode.
He would have.
Yeah.
Only if we played Turnstile.
Oh my God.
Hey,
like-
did you know that he likes Turnstile?
I knew that.
It's like, dude, I love the ghost inside, dude. Everything I'm wearing right now is the ghost inside, but you don't hear me talking about it. I mean, I am right now, but you know what I mean. Whatever.
I think he likes Turnstile.
Turnstile.
I've
Drives Grubhub and is just lame.
I would hate it if you're my dad, dude. So funny, dude. It's such a good episode. Episode 14 of the doc. Go check it out. I don't really have any other news. No, nothing. But go check out episode 100. Go watch all the spooky stuff. Let us know if you guys see anything, because we heard a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I did like type of stuff. If you go watch the part where Marty hears whistling, dude, you listen to it, dude, you can hear whistling. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty spooky. And we hear like women screaming. We hear a bunch of weird shit. Happens down there. But you can want to follow us on Instagram, you can, HGO Podcast. You can follow us on TikTok at HGO Podcast. If you want to send us an email, you can at HGOPodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook at Haunts, Graves, and Omens. You want to follow me directly on Instagram, you can, baby. You can follow me, baby. Shit. On Cock Lane. At I Hunt the Haunted.
Hi. You can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Lunar Thrill. You can also follow our dog at Spirit the Turf.
Spirit the Turf.
We have another dog show coming up in a couple weeks, so
Yeah.
that'll be fun.
Is Spirit bringing home the belt, or is she not coming home? Let's find out.
She's coming home either way.
That's what you think. Marty.
You can follow me on Instagram all the way over here.
It's also an audio
I
platform.
was gonna say,
Yeah.
there's an audio.
All the way over here. At Ghetto Fair.
There you go.
We were we're this is like the end of the show. Me and Taylor were talking about this, how you fucking do that. We were like, you can follow me right here. It's like, there's an audio portion, right? Like,
Yeah.
like most of
I
this
mean, I've said it on a bunch of episodes, so they can go back and listen to them. I've said them in multiple episodes.
what if you changed it?
Yeah.
I didn't change it.
But what if you
What if you did?
Well, then you can follow me here.
At Cock Lane Ghost.
At Cock Lane Ghost.
Love it. Stay spooky.
Stay haunted.
And scratching fatties ghost on Cock Lane.
Cock Lane, scratch my fanny,
Scratch
ghost.
the fatties ghost on Cock Lane. Scratch the fatties ghost on Cock Lane.
Ah.
Okay.
Scratching fatties ghost.
Need that not right, mate.
Oh, and like that. Bye.